Hey there, welcome back. I'm learning how to card sheep's wool today using my very own Valais Blacknose lamb's wool. A big shout out and a thank you to Brianna, my friend, who loaned me the hand shears so that I could shear my little Valais Blacknose, and also the carders so that I could learn to card his wool after I washed it. I'll leave a link below with her information. She has a YouTube channel where she shows how to process wool from the very beginning, shearing it to cleaning and carding and spinning, weaving, and creating woven items. I think you'll really like it. I take a small handful of the clean, washed, and dried wool, and I spread it out in the teeth of the brushes on the lower third of one carder. Holding the two carders so they are opposite directions of each other, I take the top carder and apply the top third of it down onto the wool sitting on the bottom carder, and I pull back. This was so thrilling for me as I did this, knowing that I am literally living my dream of learning how to process the wool from my very own little 50-50 Valais Blacknose baby doll. He's about 6 months old now. This was much easier than I thought, although it does take skill. I'm not altogether sure that I've done it perfectly by any means, but I know I've got a good start here. I followed the directions by watching my friend Brianna and many other videos on how to do it. And I am so grateful for all of those other channels out there. I will leave some links below so that you can find Brianna and some others, because they've been so helpful. Their videos have been very mentoring and detailed for me to watch. Also, thank you to Celia for the unicorn scour. You'll notice that once I was able to get all of the wool off of the bottom carder, there you see it, onto the top, I then switch places with the carders, and the top carder becomes the bottom, and I transfer it back on using the same motion to the other carder. FYI, unicorn scour is a recommended soap for washing wool. Generally, people seem to feel that this needs to be done anywhere between 2 to 4 times, depending on how large your carders are, how thick the wool is, how thick it's been applied. But I did learn that doing it in smaller batches was much easier for me. So I would suggest those of you that are new to this or trying it for the first time or getting back into it, less is best in this case, or at least it was for me. It gave me a great starting point. You'll notice here, when I finished, I gathered all the ends that were hanging off of the carder, and I bunched them together and began to roll them up over the top of the brush, and all of the wool came out of the brush or the carder brush very easily as I did that. And the finished product is called a rollag, and it is from the rollags that we spin from. I will do a video on that at a later time. So several years ago, I saw the Valais Blacknose lamb on a post as I scrolled through my Facebook feed. At first I thought it was a stuffed animal. It was absolutely adorable. And as I got to studying more, I realized what a darling little flock of sheep these were, and they are actually called the world's most adorable sheep. So I just never dreamed I could actually own one at that time. But oh, my heart just swooned over those little lambs. It ended up that as time went by, we found out we needed to move to a new home. So we did. A home that is smaller in size for the home, but larger in size for the property. That worked out really great for giving me an opportunity to own or begin bringing my dream, manifesting it into life, into my life. So I looked into doing the breed up program, as these sheep were not allowed to be sent over here as live animals. So the semen from the males over in Switzerland and New Zealand was taken, and that is what was shipped over, and a select few farms, Valais farms, throughout the United States were able to purchase that semen and breed their sheep, their ewes with that semen, and begin to breed up with each generation, getting a higher percentage of the DNA. Last fall, in 2020, the FDA or whoever approved that frozen embryos, fertilized embryos, could be sent over here. So people placed their orders, and now there's actually 100% Valais sheep here in the United States, which in and of itself is absolutely miraculous and amazing. They are so cute. They truly, truly are the world's cutest sheep. I will leave some links below for more information on the Valais Blacknose. So anyway, back to the story. I purchased 3 little ewes so that I could begin to learn how to take care of lambs and raise sheep. I was planning on using these 3 as my breed up foundation ewes. I did discover later on into this adventure that the breeds I have, only one of them is really recommended to use as breed up foundation ewes. However, if I went for the embryos now that are already 100% Valais, my guess is it probably really wouldn't matter. So that is what my goal is to be able to work with frozen embryos at some point. In the meantime, I was able to find a Valais Blacknose farm here in Utah, which I did not know existed. I thought the closest ones were in Oregon, and I think there might be one in Idaho, and I believe Colorado was the next closest. But my vet helped me, and we discovered that there is, in fact, one about 3 hours south of where I live. So I contacted them, and it was just miraculous how the whole thing came about. But I was offered a really good deal on a little 50-50 Valais Blacknose and babydoll cross that would be a wether. And because his markings and his coloring weren't of the high quality to be able to use him as a breed up ram. I saw my opportunity and I jumped at it. So I wondered, how in the world can I come up with the money to buy this little guy, even though she was giving him to me on a really great deal. But I still didn't have that kind of cash just sitting around. So after praying about it and thinking about it for a little bit, I thought, I'll take a chance. I used to sell cheesecakes in a little bakery I owned. So I thought, well, maybe if I could sell enough cheesecakes, I could earn the money. And I had about 24 or 48 hours, I can't remember, to earn this money. So I chose the lamb that I wanted and told her that I would have the money to her within a day or two. And she said, okay, she would hold him for me. So I got online on my Facebook and I advertised that I was making cheesecakes and why. And the response was overwhelming. So many people were willing to purchase and to watch this event unfold. So, long story short, I earned enough money to purchase the lamb, pay for a month of milk for him because he was also bottle fed at the time, and to pay for my trip down to get him and back. So we went, I believe it was 10 days later that we went and picked him up, and I brought him home, and I have been absolutely head over heels in love with this little guy ever since. And of course, what else could I name him but Cheesecake? So now I've got my little Valais Blacknose lamb, and another part of this dream that I've had was to learn to spin wool. And I wanted to learn to process the wool using my own Valais Blacknose sheep. He may not be a purebred, and yes, he's a wether, so I won't be able to get more sheep from him. But he is a Blacknose mixed with babydoll. He has amazing wool. Absolutely darling. So this wool that you see in this picture and the little lamb that was there, I purchased from a lady in Oregon, and I'll leave a link below. And I did that the week before this whole thing happened with my little cheesecake. It's like getting my hands on that beautiful Valais wool from this little farm in Oregon opened up this magical opportunity for me, and the blessings just came flowing in. Once we got little Cheesecake on our farm, he was a bundle of joy, and he still is to this day. People came from all over the county to see him, as he is still the only Valais Blacknose in the valley, in the entire county. I'm trying to use him to educate people and bring awareness to this absolutely stunning breed of sheep. It took some time for him to get acclimated to our new farm and to his new life. He loved meeting new people, and everybody that met him absolutely fell in love. I'm so grateful to every single person that has shown their support just by coming and meeting him and becoming part of our dream. So in the description below, I'll leave several links to all the different people and organizations that I've mentioned here today. My dream is to someday have a whole field full of 100% little Valais, but never will I forget the way that this dream has come about, all of you that have been part of it and continue to be part of it. And absolutely, of course, I will never forget my little cheesecake. He is the light of my life, as are all the farm animals here on our farm. They are part of our family. I adore him and he adores me. Once again, I'm finding that it's the little things that bring the biggest opportunities, that fulfill our biggest dreams, that help us manifest all of those wishes and desires that we have into our lives. While we're at it, we should help others along our way. Help others smile and bring a little joy. Thanks for watching.